Good afternoon, everybody. It's 3:30. We need to get a little bit of a wiggle on here because the sun sets in an hour and a half and we have about an hour to an hour and a half walk to do. Now, this is a little bit different. We're going to do I wasn't wrong wrist, that's the Explorer 2. We're going to do another video on the Fenix 6X. I was trying to think about doing something skiing related, as I've got skiing things here, and I was thinking of doing a walk a little bit higher up the slopes, but given the time and the fact that I'm not exactly prepared or equipped for walking out here, obviously, you know, it's between myself and the concierge at the hotel, it was kind of suggested that I do this rather simple, low-level walk. So it's not really skiing as such, but I have set the Garmin 6X up for ski. So we'll kind of see, even though we're walking, we'll kind of sort of see at the end of the walk what it says, because it could kind of be interesting. But you can see they have some skier lifts heading up over there. Looks like a train or something. And then obviously those seat things up over there. And I have to say, the last time that I skied was when I was 15 or 16 years old, and I'm now 50. And back in those days, I used to bounce quite nicely. These days, I'm more likely to splat and quite literally probably break a leg or something stupid. So I've got absolutely no intentions of chucking on a pair of skis for a video at this moment in time. But I'm kind of hoping that we're in the right area for this walk, but we will find out. Somehow we've come along this path here under there, and I have this feeling that for walking we should be on that path down there, which, if I think correctly, is on the watch, that grey line. Okay, well, we came down there, I have to say, rather rather gingerly, it has to be said. Oh. Okay, now I believe we're on the correct path. Okay, so this is one ski path here. So our walking path is here, and the skiing path obviously comes down here and then on down in that direction. So there we're standing exactly at the junction. The blue line is the one going down to the left that I showed you, and we are on the grey line. So on the map we are just past the number 11, just crossed that blue line, heading towards that running girl. So we better go and catch her up. Wouldn't I be so lucky? We've ended up having to come down this road here because basically the path that I was on, it kind of disappeared into deep snow, and I'm just not equipped at all for deep snow. So I was going to carry on following this path here to Shuravetta, but I've seen this signpost here and it says St Moritz down through here. Now this path here is not on the watch, so you can see the blue line to the left. Now, like I said, this path is obviously not shown, but the blue line is, and when you point it kind of, you know, down, then it is taking you towards that blue line. Just for the adventure, we will take this path down here because it's clearly not a ski thing here, so there must be some way of getting to St Moritz this way. I was going to go to one of those places over there and call the hotel and get them to pick me up, but this walk hasn't quite worked out how it was. I didn't really know what I was planning as such. I was hoping to cross a few more ski slopes and try and show you some ski slopes on the map, on the watch, but that hasn't quite worked out as I as I planned as usual. I'm only here for a few days and time is literally limited to this trip. Ooh, it's a bit of a... I have to say, I will admit that I really am not a big fan of ice, even snow and ice. It's the one thing I am more concerned about than anything else, and that's falling flat on my ass. The boots are gripping fine. It's just basically me being Jesse. Right, so what we can see now, well, actually we could see, oh, there we are, there's a skier. There's one skier there, which you might just see. There's a skier. So that ski slope there is this blue line here on the watch. So you can get a rough idea where you are on the watch, even when the actual path, this path, doesn't actually show up on the watch at all. So I don't know where this path is going to appear from or disappear to. Okay, looks like it crosses and goes over there. So you can see the blue line, and that blue line is the ski run, which goes down through there. So when you go into maps, you can configure maps to show the ski runs. And we're obviously just going to follow this straight down through there. So our path carries on with these purple, rather pretty purple markers here. So that's a ski run down through there. And that's for the brave buggers. And then this is the Jesse path. This is the Tony Jesse path. So you can see we're looking at the map to see where we are, and we're checking the watch as well, just to get a rough idea. And we can see the lake down there, although the lake yet isn't showing on the watch. What I am going to do, because it's cooling off, it's 4:30, I'm going to put my jumper on because it's getting a bit on the... I'm going to put my jumper on because it's getting a bit on the cold side. Because I'm doing the very, 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 very easy walk, basically this is almost a road that I've ended up doing. I only brought the bare minimum, you know, equipment. Obviously I've got water, I've got my watch, I've got my phone. I brought waterproof trousers, so you know I had that, and I brought my jumper. Okay, well we're heading down into St Moritz. It's I put my gloves on. I have my fleece, which I've put on, hooded fleece. Put the hooded fleece over my hat, and I've got my thick, well actually it's not a thick winter coat, my winter coat, but it's actually a thin winter coat, but it's a double layered Ventile, which is just okay to a certain degree. So we've got this little path that we're just following around and around and around. It's a little bit like the Lake District, to be honest, and we just going round and round and round here. We'll take a quick look in a minute at the red squiggly line, or the red straight line on the Garmin Fenix 6X. I did hear that the Garmin 7 is now out. It's a shame it hadn't come out a little bit earlier, then I could have brought it on this trip, although in reality I would not have had much, if any, time to do anything. This is just a short 3-day just family trip here really. It's very limiting as to what I can do. Other helpful little signs, St Moritz Dorf. So I think we'll take the path of least resistance and head in this direction. We've got the lake over there on our right. So we've got the lake over there, and there's a street down there. So we've done our non-skiing ski review which was not exactly helpful, but hopefully one or two of you at the very least enjoyed the scenery and the slightly unusual delivery. Well, we've all got to try something on YouTube, haven't we? Like I said, we can't we can't all be Des Fits and DC Rainmakers and chase the summits. There's got to be one of us that's a bit odd and does things a bit differently to the best of one's limited capabilities, and enjoys oneself in the process. So we are now very, very close to the road, and probably not a million miles away from the hotel, to be honest. We will see. Catch you in a minute. Here you can see quite clearly the road that we're on. You can see the arrow pointing north, top left, the road we're on, where we are on that road. And of course you can see the lake to the right. And this is just basic mapping on the watch. Okay, let's take a quick look at this information that the app shows us. First of all, obviously it shows where you are,
what you're doing. It's skiing or snowboarding. Obviously we're walking, but you know, I put it for skiing. It's giving us a map, a drawing of where we walked. I have to say, I don't think the 6X, you know, did an excellent job. I think it did a reasonable job. As you can see, there's a dead straight line there, which, you know, clearly wasn't the case. I think some of the other lines are potentially correct. It's difficult to be exactly sure. And then of course towards the latter part of the walk, as you would have seen, there was a lot of ziggy-zaggy down, up, you know, ziggy-zaggying, you know, to get down to the road. That squiggly diddly bit on the left, that was where I was trying to go around in circles a little bit to try and find a route to a different area. Once you're down on the open road, as you can see here, then it is pretty accurate. So it's like once you're out of the forest, you know, then it is pretty accurate. That little bit over there on the left, that's where I was trying to get really over to that other lake indirectly, which you see at the bottom left there, but time and the path was snowbound, so I couldn't get there, so I cut the corner. Here you've got a zoomed out image here, and the app shows you a lot of ski runs, various different ski runs here, and so all of these not only are on the app, but they are also on the watch as well. It's just unfortunate that I didn't really have time to get up into the hill or up into the mountains to have a, you know, proper look at the ski runs on the watch, but you know, it is what it is. Here you can see the time and various other functions, various other features, and then this is just more information. If you're interested in this, then, you know, just press pause briefly. It said I did three runs. Obviously I didn't do any runs, so what it's meaning there, who knows. It says a total time of 26 minutes on the runs. Clearly the walk itself was more. Here it gives you the elevation details, speed, average speed. Obviously I was literally just walking, and then heart rate information down there. So again, this is just basic information that it shows you, you know, from the walk. And that's basically it. You know, then there's heart rate zones down the bottom, which, you know, you may be interested in getting. So, you know, this is the basic information that you get from the app, you know, once you've downloaded it from the watch, you know. So yes, you got the distance and the ascent there. So I do hope that you have found this interesting. It's a little bit different. It didn't quite work out how I wanted. I really was thinking of trying to get up into the mountain, but it just didn't work that way. But never mind. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. You know, thank you very much for getting this far. Thank you very much for getting this far, if you did get this far, and I will see you in the next one.